Margaret.
And I'm Julie.
And today, we're back for another. Oh my God! we're back for another episode of the Unity podcast, and today our topic is going to be on the pressure that parents give onto their children or students. And so I think, as Asian kids, we definitely have experienced a time where our parents had some unrealistic expectations for us, and I think a lot of the times people are afraid to talk about it because they know that their parents are doing it for their good, but sometimes it just harms them in the long term. And so I'm just curious if you guys have a very vivid experience on when your parents have said something about you that's unrealistic or something like that, maybe.
I feel like personally my parents they don't really exert a lot of pressure on me because I feel like more of the pressure comes from my own expectations because I guess nobody wants to do bad, and so I always want to have good achievements, and that sort of puts pressure on me. But then I feel like my mom and dad, they actually accept anything. It's just they don't really have a lot of actual standards that I have to meet personally. Yeah.
I mean, also for me, my parents aren't very demanding, in contrary to the stereotypical portrayal of Asian parents, right? Be doctor or something. And then, but I guess it's more of this implicit kind of pressure. It's being raised up by I guess successful or relatively successful people. You feel the need of you feel that you have to do well, even if they don't demand you to do well, because you feel you can't I guess in a way disappoint or let them down, right? If they provide you with these resources, but then you come up with you turn out, I guess, kind of
Not so well
or disappointing. So yeah, it's more a self-exerted pressure rather than my parents demanding me to do stuff.
I think for me, one vivid memory of my parents giving me some unrealistic standards was when we did the map test, and then for this semester I got 99 on language and 98 on math, and my dad was like, why is your math only 98? Why is it not 99? And for me, a number above 95, it's good, but for him, everything just has to reach the 99 point standard. And so I kind of just felt I probably have to perform the best at all times, which is definitely something that I probably can't do, even though I try my best to do that, but sometimes it's just not realistic for me. And also in terms of grades, they always say 7 is the minimum and 8 is what you need to where you need to be at, but again, I don't think I'm capable of always maintaining that 7, especially in English class. When teachers say 4 means you have done a decent job, but your parents think that 7 is the bare minimum. So I think in terms of grades, they definitely do put some pressure on me, but also when they compare you with other kids, they might say oh, why, they'll just compare you in terms of not only grades but also what they do outside of school. And so they might say they have done they have played the piano for example at this level, and you have been given the same amount of time. We have probably invested more time and money into you, but why are you not at the same level as them? And I think it's this comparison that they do that like you really like start to feel the pressure and start to feel like you are not as good. And I think that's when a lot of like the mental health problems start to appear. And I think that's sometimes how I feel, but I mean, how about you guys? Like, do you guys feel the same type of pressure?
I feel like for me, it's like I have a different type of pressure. I think it's more of like what George mentioned, because I feel like my parents, like, I'm really like grateful for like the resources that they provided me, and I feel like I do have to like give back like the same like sort of like success related to the opportunities that I have. And so for example, like I remember like also an example with like piano. So basically I studied piano when I was small, like for a long time. Why are you laughing? Like for like maybe like, I don't know, 5 years or something, but then I didn't really like it. But then I just continued because I basically maybe like practiced like maximum like 40 minutes in 2 weeks or something. And then it was just like, I guess my dad, my mom just wanted it to be like a hobby and that like I could play piano if I wanted to. But then like after looking back, cause like currently I've stopped, and then looking back, I feel like I guess the only pressure for piano is that like my mom and dad is not forcing me to do it, and so that's because I stopped, and that is why I stopped. But then I feel like they also like invested a lot of like money and like time to do this, so I feel like it's that like thing that's giving me the pressure. Yeah. And so I sort of like regret that if I like sort of put in more effort, then maybe I'd be like better now. But I guess I don't really like playing piano, so it's also fun.
How about you? Do you have any similar experiences or something?
I think really it's just I think like wait, hold on, let me try to assemble what I'm trying to say. So I think it's like the pressure that parents exert on you actually sort of has like a negative correlation with how the child is reacting to this pressure. So for some examples like of people that I know, when their parents are really demanding, the child turns out to be less I guess disciplined when they lose this pressure from their parents, right?
Yeah.
So like if, for example, everything since when you were young, it's like your parents forcing you to do this, like after you lose this after your parents like kind of lose control over you, that sounds kind of manipulative, but after they like lose control or like this sense of pressure that they gave you, I guess you rather just like have this sense of freedom and escape, I guess, from this pressure, and then you just don't seem to do anything anymore, like, right? But rather if your parents are kind of like let go of you, right, and then they don't really give you that a lot of pressure, it sometimes helps you develop like a intuitive kind of sense of desire to achieve success, or like just to do well, I guess.
It's like self-motivation.
It's kind of like a spring, like when your parents when they put a lot of pressure on you, and then it just like goes down, and then one day when you turn 18, and then like they let go, and then you just like I don't know,
spring back
like that's kind of also why some parents say teenagers they rebel, like this like jump sudden escape. It's kind of like the rebellion of some like teenagers. But I think it's just when teenagers they realize that like their parents, like a lot of the times what they say is wrong, like when their knowledge at that age tells them that they have the right to go against the parents, and so that's when they start to do things that is against their parents' will, but the child, like they know it's the best for them, but sometimes parents they just kind of still want to force the child into still staying in their own system. And so that's when like when there's two conflicting ideas on what is like the best path for a person, like this conflicting like thoughts and concepts, I think that's when a lot of the times like parents and children they get into a fight or like have a very complicated relationship with each other. And so sometimes I might say to my parents like, maybe it's better for us to draw some boundaries on my life, because a part of me, like I know what to do, like in school and also out of school. And so my parents just need to manage like my lifestyle sort of stuff. And so it's like when you tell your parents what they need to do to support you, I think that's when this healthier relationship starts to form. But some people, they might just not want to like form those boundaries, and so that's like they might think it's unhealthy, but it could be a benefit, I would say.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pressure that like often parents exert on children is because they're sort of like standing in like the position of a parent, like they're trying to like tell you to do something because they feel like they have more experience or like more status compared to you.
Yeah.
So I feel like a better way for like parent and children relationship is that if like they become sort of like a friend relationship, because like they're more of like standing in your point of view, and then you guys can like communicate more freely, and the parent's not trying to let you do something because they think it is correct, rather it's sort of like a conversation. And I feel like for me, I do like sort of have this relationship with my mom and my dad, so it's like pretty nice. Yeah.
And also I remember my mom telling me like once I like get older, she would not force her thoughts onto me as much as she would like when I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6, because she knows that like I know how to be principled with my life. And so she would just be there for like giving her opinion on like only certain parts, but like not like holding me like hand in hand of like telling me what to do, which I think it's pretty nice, because that's like how we evolve out of like our parents' like control, maybe. Yeah, I think that's
pretty much it.
How about you?
Yeah, like it's not that your parents don't exert as much pressure on you as you grow older. It's more of like you become more independent and you have I guess more power to make your own decisions, right? So I guess rather than your parents just putting like still trying to maintain that control over you as you grow older, I guess it's better of them to just I guess progressively kind of let go and like let you be independent, you know. It's like I think that's more of a positive effect and a positive way of handling the situation. Yeah.
So that's the end of our episode. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Margaret here, and I kind of just wanted to like chat with you guys again, one-on-one, with this topic of parents' pressure on students, because what I just experienced like a minute or two ago, it really helped me reflect on like how big of a role our parents play in our lives. Because, well, I mean, without them, like, we won't be here today, right? And also without them, like, we won't have a lot of the circumstances that, like, that one we have been through, two that we are also in. And so definitely I feel grateful for them, like, for their presence in my life, and also that they're able to support me along like with my growth and everything, but sometimes they just they set those impossible expectations for you that you obviously want to meet, not only because they're your parents. Like, you always probably, like, I don't know, want to strive for like better standards. However, sometimes it could be just a little bit too much, you know? Like, I think this made me really realize how, like, some people that are like the nearest to you and the dearest, I would say, to you, are also the ones that sometimes just don't completely understand you, and sometimes they just won't, you know, because not everyone lives like the exact same lives of others. Like, it could be highly similar, but what's going on with their minds and what they are like reflecting upon, even if they experience the same thing, it's all different. And so, like, uh, like a lot of the times when our parents, for example, um okay, let's just put it this way. Like, a lot of the times, for example, parents don't allow children to play video games, and of course they don't want their kids to be addicted. They want them to, you know, use the time to perhaps read a book or finish up some more homework or whatever. However, like, I think, I mean, even when parents know their child won't be addicted or like be forgetting about the important things, even when they're playing the game, for example, like, they still don't let them play, and the fact that they still like make up excuses for them to do more work and for them to like even do, I don't know, seemingly useless things even when they don't want to. I think this is when parenting becomes like quite complicated, because you have to like completely understand your child's inner thoughts, however still not still help them strive for the better, however not interfering with their own personal, you know, belief system. Well, I mean, that's also like basically a twist of what I experienced. Like, I was on some entertainment pages on my computer, and then my mom just came, and then she kind of just was like scolding me on how like I got so many math questions wrong out of this practice, and that I should be spending time on math rather than on these entertainment pages. Okay, mom, I get like perfect grades, okay? And I need like relaxation in my life. And so sometimes like it is the very fact that they are your parents and they are the nearest to you that you are the most afraid to talk to them sometimes. Because, for example, let's just say you got yourself a girlfriend or boyfriend one day, and then like you, or at least most people, will have a higher chance of telling their friends first rather than going to the parents and say, hey, mom and dad, I got myself a girlfriend or boyfriend, like, you know. And so I think this is like just sometimes parents are like just very strict about it, and I think that's what happens with most parents. And they either like try to brainwash you with their own belief system and try to make you perfectly aligned with them, and then you just kind of stopped telling them about things because you are afraid that they are going to not be happy with it. And so you're just going to be like, okay, I'm not telling you about my life anymore. Like, that's that. I'll live my own life. And so I think that's why a lot of people have a very complicated relationship with their parents. Like, that's the exact reason. And I feel like sometimes, yeah, like, I experience that, okay? Like, I know how to grasp my own life. I know how to do things strategically. However, sometimes it just feels like they don't know that, and that they kind of still wants me to, like, oh, go hand in hand with them and let me do all those math questions before I go watch YouTube or whatever. And so, but like, I have my own schedule. I know how to handle things. If you really think this is a big problem, then we can sit down and talk, you know? And I think that's like the main issue with parents putting so much like pressure on their kids, and then that's also why some kids rebel in their teenager like years, because like that's, I guess, just a part of growing up and knowing. I think just also telling your parents directly about what like what you want them to know, and also what you want them to do in your life, and draw the boundary. Like, don't be afraid to draw boundaries with your parents, because that's like what some people are afraid to do, that their parents might feel like they are like pushing them away from their life. But I think in reality it actually helps to like foster a healthier relationship with your parents, because at the end of the day, your parents are just your mentors. Yeah, they're just your mentors, you know? It's just a mentor that has been with you for like longer period of time than other people in your life, you know? So they're just there to guide you, to answer some of your questions, to, you know, help you out with like lifestyle stuff. But at the end of the day, the life is yours. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed our conversation, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.